The movie takes place in the 70s, when the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union was unleashed. There are rumors in the States that a nuclear bomb may be dropped on the country at any moment. These rumors prompted citizens to build bunkers in their homes. The movie then introduces us to a scientist, Dr. Kelvin, who has thrown a party at his home and invited his colleagues. Suddenly on TV, President Kennedy announces that they are planning a secret mission against the USSR. This information terrifies Calvin because the man believes that this move will start a war. As a consequence, the scientist expels all the guests, and himself and his pregnant wife hurry to the secret bunker. At that moment, an airplane flies over the city and has a turbine malfunction. The plane ends up crashing into the scientist's house. Inside the bunker, the scientist concludes that nuclear war has broken out and immediately seals the door. Calvin tells his wife that the door will not open until 35 years later, as that is how long it takes for the nuclear particles to disintegrate in the atmosphere. Since the house is completely destroyed, everyone assumes that the family died in an airplane crash. Now a couple of heroes begin to adapt to life inside the bunker. Soon, Helen's water broke, and the lady gave birth to a son. Our heroes are very happy that they have a child, and they named him Adam. Next, we see the bunker of our heroes, and we learn that it is designed for 35 years. And in this bunker, there is an aquarium, a huge specialized recreation area, and a warehouse full of food. We see a father homeschooling his son and telling him about American history. Then, we see a construction crew clearing Calvin's lot in the summer of 1965 and building a diner there. Another 10 years pass, and we see a mother teaching her son dance lessons and a father teaching boxing lessons. During this time, the diner turns into a pizzeria. In the bunker, the father continues to teach his son various subjects. The father talks about the stock market and gives French lessons. During these lessons, the father praises his son's incredible sense of humor. One day, Calvin gives his son his baseball card collection and explains to him about sports. In 1991, the pizzeria became a nightclub, and in 1995, the parents celebrate their son's 33rd birthday. Adam has become a grown man and wants to find a girl to live with. 2 more years pass, and finally the doors of the bunker automatically open. The whole family is excited, and they go to check the doors. Calvin insists that they wait until nighttime and let him check out the outside world alone, because they don't know what awaits them outside above the bunker. And the nightclub has already become a home for beggars. While they are drinking, an earthquake suddenly starts, but it turns out that it is Kelvin who has risen to the surface in a radiation suit. Upon seeing the scientist, one of the beggars falls unconscious. After that, the scientist gathers courage and goes out to his old neighborhood. But Calvin discovers that the world has completely changed. He sees a man has become a black woman, and beggars everywhere are digging through garbage. Calvin realizes that his neighborhood has degenerated and returns to the bunker. Over dinner, a man tells his family that the land above is breathable, but it has become a post-apocalyptic wasteland of irradiated mutants. As a result, they must continue to live underground. Helen, who is sick of living in the bunker, begins to argue with her husband. The woman says that regardless of the mutants upstairs, she wants to get out of the bunker and wants Adam to see the blue sky, touch the oceans, and the grass. Despite this speech, the father of the family still insists that they stay in the bunker. But suddenly, Calvin has a heart attack. The bunker is running low on supplies, and Calvin is sick. Helen wants Adam to go to the surface and buy provisions for 2 years. The lady gives her son a shopping list and says it would be great if he could find a girl who wasn't a mutant. Soon, Adam packs his bag and leaves the bunker for the first time. On his way out, our hero bumps into a beggar who had a meeting with his father last night. While Adam marvels at the outside world, the beggar begins to worship Calvin and the elevator through which they escaped outside. The beggar thinks they are some sort of deity that will change his fate. Adam finally comes out and sees the blue sky overhead and waves to the people in the streets as he is seeing them for the first time. Our hero is shocked to see a woman of color and excitedly greets her. Later, Adam gets on the bus, but our guy is scared to feel the car moving on the road. The guy tries to talk to people, but the passengers on the bus think he's crazy. After a while, our hero does make it to the grocery store and walks through the rows. Then Adam goes shopping for groceries according to his mom's list. And while buying meat, the butcher tells the guy that if he makes a big order, it will be delivered right to his house. Upon hearing the word home, Adam realizes he's forgotten the way back to his bunker. Our hero in despair drives around the city and tries to find his bunker, but cannot find even signs of its existence. By this point, our hero is running out of money, and the guy tries to sell his father's classic baseball cards. The store owner comes to the conclusion that Adam is crazy because he is trying to sell collectible cards at a surprisingly low price, so the man offers to buy the entire collection from Adam for only $500. Just at that moment, a salesgirl named Eva comes up to them and stops this deception. The girl informs Adam that each of his cards is worth a lot of money, as he has a very rare collection of cards. Eve then scolds her boss for cheating and is immediately fired from her job. After witnessing all this, Adam instantly falls in love with the girl. Leaving the store, the guy asks to be taken to a hotel, according to his mother's instructions. At first, the girl refuses, but when Adam promises to give Eve 2 cards in return for the trip, she agrees. Soon, our couple stays at the hotel, but before Adam can say anything, the girl leaves for home. The next morning, our hero receives a call from Eva, who asks the man to come down to the hotel lobby. Adam behaves strangely, since he did not have time to brush his teeth. We learn that the girl came to return the card, as she feels guilty. After that, Eve tries to leave, but Adam asks her to help buy supplies, and in return, he promises to pay her $1,000 a week. Eve agrees, and they buy trucks with supplies, as well as several garages, as Adam must be sure that the supplies will be enough for at least 2 years. Later, our hero asks Eve to help him find a wife, and that this girl not be a mutant. Since Adam has never driven a car, Eve tries to teach the guy to drive, and they arrive at her house. Adam meets Eve's neighbor, Troy, who is very curious by nature. The man asks Adam about his hometown, and Adam lies that he is from Alaska and came here on a business trip. Next, we see Helen decides to leave the bunker, but a beggar with a whole congregation is already waiting for her at the exit, and the woman is forced to return. Later, Troy dresses Adam in fancy clothes, and they even buy him modern rollerblades. Our heroes go skating at a special playground, and later, Adam gets a chance to see the ocean for the first time. Our hero excitedly dives into the water and enjoys the moment. Adam also attends a baseball game and excitedly shouts that he finally knows what his father was talking about. Troy even teaches Adam how to dance, which Eve watches. One day it starts to rain and Adam feels rainwater for the first time in his life. Eve tries to persuade Adam to go back to the house, but the man wants to keep experiencing this wonderful feeling. Suddenly, Adam hugs the girl tightly and calls her his best friend. That same night, Troy and Eve take Adam to a nightclub to find him a wife. They advise Adam to be himself by talking to women. Surprisingly, Adam attracts the attention of several attractive women, including Eve's nemesis, Sophie. When Adam and Sophie begin flirting, Eve, feeling uncomfortable, and takes Adam to a table. Eve then recommends that Adam look for a nice girl instead of the femme fatale, Sophie. After a while, Adam approaches the blonde, and they quickly find common topics of conversation. Eve only has to look at them jealously. Soon, Adam invites the girl to dance, and instantly wins over the crowd with his dancing skills, because our hero has been practicing dancing in the bunker for years. Meanwhile, jealous Eve reunites with her ex-boyfriend, who drags Adam into an argument. However, the man soon regrets it when Adam shows off his boxing skills, for he practiced with his father in the bunker every day. Because of all the fighting, Eve gets annoyed and decides to leave Adam and return home. A short while later, Troy also comes home and informs Eve that Adam has left the club with Sophie. Hearing this, Eve runs out of the house and gets into her car to go back for Adam. Just at that moment, Adam shows up and scares the girl. Afterward, the two return to the house, and Adam explains that he politely declined Sophie's offer because he could only think of Eve. Adam then says that he loves her, and they finally kiss. Now Adam decides to tell Eve about his past. The The man tells her that he has lived in the bunker with his family for 35 years and has seen the outside world for the first time in his life. Adam also says that he wants to make Eve his wife and move her to the bunker so that they can live a happy life. However, the girl thinks that Adam has lost his mind and asks the man to leave her house. The next day, while Troy is teaching Adam how to drive a truck, the man notices the videotape store he saw earlier and finally discovers the location of his bunker. Our hero rushes back to Eve's house to tell the girl about his find, but notices 2 psychiatrists waiting there. Adam cooperates at first, but then escapes and gives Eve and Troy the key to his hotel room and asks them to pick up all the baseball cards and pay his hotel bill. Sometime later, Troy and Eve go into Adam's hotel room and find clothes, toothpaste, and other items from the 60s. They also find some valuable stock from Adam's father, which is now worth millions of dollars. From this information, they conclude that Adam is not crazy, and he was actually telling the truth all along. Meanwhile, Adam returns home after 2 weeks in the outside world. Son hugs his parents and tells them how wonderful the world has become. Soon, a beggar and his congregation help Adam load all the supplies into the bunker. Meanwhile, Eve and Troy try to find Adam's underground bunker, but to no avail. At night, when they were on their way home, Eve notices Adam. The girl immediately shouts his name and gets out of the car. Adam takes Eve to meet his parents. Adam's parents are impressed with Eve, and Adam wants to gently take his parents outside, but 2 months later. In the meantime, they are busy making preparations outside, selling stocks to build a new house outside the city, identical to his previous house. 2 months later, the son transports Calvin and Helen to the surface and brings them to their new home. The parents are amazed to see their son doing so much for them. While Helen and Eve prepare dinner for the family, Adam tells his father that the atomic war never happened, and that the bomb was not a bomb, but it was an airplane that hit their house. Adam also tells him that the Soviet Union collapsed without a war. However, Calvin doesn't believe it and mocks his son's revelations. The movie ends with Calvin planning to build a new bunker, while Eve watches from the kitchen window and touches her wedding ring. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like, write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.